Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year freak out book tag. I've made this video twice before. I'll put the links in the description for both of my previous years that I've done this tag. But like, I can't believe it's already like kind of the midpoint of 2018, like what the fuck, time is flying, oh my god. Just so everyone has an idea, I've read 50 books so far this year. Exactly 50 books. That gives you an idea of like how much I've read, and I'll be putting a link in the description so you can see all the books that I've read this year, so you can see what I'm choosing from. But yeah, I really love doing this tag every year, so let's just jump right into the questions. The very first question says, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2018? This question is really hard because I've had so many 5-star reads this year. Like, I've had more 5-star reads this year than I've had like ever, I think, and so don't really have one favorite so far. It's kind of a three-way tie between these three amazing books, and the first one is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, The Humans by Matt Haig, and The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. These are like three of my new favorite books of all time, and I can't really pick which one is my favorite so far this year. I love them all, like, to death. Question number 2 says, the best sequel you've read so far in 2018. And so the only sequel I've read so far this year is The Year of the Flood by Margaret Atwood, and this was actually a required read for my English class that the professor picked out, and he said that this book could be read as a standalone, so we had to read this for my class this quarter, and so I technically didn't read the first book, but this is the only sequel I've read so far this year. I'm obviously not a big series reader. Question number 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet. One that I've really been wanting to read is The Astonishing Color of After. I'm hoping to get to this one pretty soon. 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Definitely Vengeful by Victoria Schwab. This is the sequel to Vicious. And like, I've been waiting for the sequel for like years. Vicious was one of my favorite books a couple years ago, and it's still one of my favorite books of all time, so I cannot wait to get my hands on this sequel. I need to know more about Victor Vale's life. Number 5 is the biggest disappointment of the year so far. For this one, I also have a few different answers just because I've been massively disappointed by these 3 books this year. The first one is Providence by Caroline Kepnes. I had such high expectations for this book, and it was just such a mess. Another one is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I expected to love this, and I ended up not even finishing it. I only got 300 pages of the way through, and I couldn't do it anymore. It was just so boring. And then another one is The Woman in the Window. This was a thriller that I just expected to love, and it was just so boring, and I also DNF'd this one. So these were all huge, massive disappointments for me this year. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise. I'm gonna go with Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This is like an adult thriller that I just picked up that I was expecting it to be like your decent average thriller, but like this was emotionally investing, and I got so like involved in these characters, and this was like a 5-star book for me, and it was just so unexpected how much I loved it. It was fucking great. It just totally caught me off guard. Another one is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I thought this was gonna be your average new adult cheesy romance, but I ended up loving the hell out of this book, and it was another 5-star read for me. Loved Pike so much in this book. It was just so unexpected and such a huge surprise. Like, I fucking loved it. 7 is favorite new author, or at least a debut author to you. So for that, I'm gonna go with Celeste Ng, who wrote Little Fires Everywhere. I read this book in January, and I fucking loved it. It's one of my favorite books that I've read this year, and I can't wait to get my hands on her first debut novel that I haven't read yet. This was her second book she ever came out with, but she's definitely a new instant favorite author for me because this book was fantastic, and I can't wait to read her first one. Number 8 is newest fictional crush. And so for that, I'm gonna have to go with Pike from Birthday Girl because I just loved him so much, and he's like a construction worker, you know, and he's like 38, and he has like sleeve tattoos. Just like everything about him is like, oh my god, like I loved him so much in this book, and he's such a sweetheart, like at heart, you know. Number 9 is your newest favorite character. Willem and Jude from A Little Life, because I loved both of their characters so much, and like this book took me a week to get through because it's 800 pages, and I felt like I just spent so much time with them, and after I finished this book I just felt so connected to their characters still, and their characters have just left such a lasting impression on me, and I just love Willem and Jude both so much. And another one of my favorite characters from this year was Stella Lane from The Kiss Quotient, because this is a new adult romance that follows this girl Stella Lane who has Asperger's, and I've just never read a book before about a girl with Asperger's, and it was just really inspiring and cute and fun, and I just found Stella to be very quirky and relatable. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. So for this, I'm gonna go with A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I mean, as I've said many times before, this is one of the most depressing books I've ever read in my life, and it definitely made me cry, and it made my heart hurt mostly. Like, it made me cry a few times, but like, it was mostly just like my heart felt so heavy when I was reading this. Another book that actually did bring me to tears a few times was Girl Made of Stars. This is one of my most recent reads from this month, and this was a hard one to get through, you know, because it was about her twin brother raping one of her friends, and it was just a very unique perspective and very difficult to read and get through because it was a very, you know, sensitive, controversial topic, and it was very well done though, but it made me cry. 11 is books that made you happy. For this, I'm gonna go with The Humans by Matt Haig and The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, and this one is like a new adult romance, like fluffy, make you feel good type of book, so I would definitely recommend this if you're in the mood for like a romantic comedy. The Humans is very like comedic, it's funny, it's like a feel-good book, you know, because it's about this alien that comes to Earth in the body of a human, and he's like judging humanity and how stupid we are. It's really hilarious and entertaining and one of my favorites of the year. So number 12 is favorite book to film adaptation that you've seen this year. I have two, but the first one I'm gonna say is Ready Player One because I really loved this book and I loved the movie in like equal measure. I know that's rare because a lot of the people that read the book ended up not liking the movie for the most part is what I'm hearing. I really loved the book and I loved the movie, and I read the book for the first time this year and I saw the movie this year, so it was just great for me. Another book that I read is Annihilation, and even though I didn't love this book as much, I fucking loved the movie. It ended up being one of my favorites of the year, so both of these movies really surprised me. I really enjoyed these book to movie adaptations. Number 13 is favorite review that you've written, whether it's on booktube or written. Review that I'm the most proud of this year is my A Little Life book talk that I made. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out, but it's a pretty lengthy book talk. It's like 18 or 20 minutes or something, and I just feel like it's a really great review though because I really went into depth about what I loved about it, and I gave a lot of I read a lot of quotes and passages that really inspired me, and I really like my Goodreads review of this too, which I can link below as well, because I made my own like cast of the characters that different actors that I pictured for each of the 4 characters in this, and I just thought it was really fun. Number 14 is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received. This I also have 3 because I can't possibly pick one. And the first one is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This was one of my book of the month picks, but like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this cover. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just fucking gorgeous. I love the like little strips of like color that are coming through on the road. Ugh. Another one is Tell Me Lies. I really love this like radiant pink, red, orangey, whatever colors. Oh my god, I love it so much, even though I didn't end up liking this book like at all. The cover though. And another one is Sleeping Giants. I just think this cover is very beautiful. I love this turquoise, and I love the like starry night sky. I'm really into like starry night. I don't know why, I just like this cover. I like it so much. And the last question, number 15, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And so I just made a video pretty recently called Books I Want to Read This Summer or something like that, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to see all of the books that I'm planning on reading very soon this summer. But some other books that I've recently added to that list include The Proposal and Intercepted. These are 2 new adult romances that are coming out in September, and I was sent ARCs of both of these, so I definitely want to be reading these at some point this year. Yeah, I have so many books I want to read. I have an entire TBR shelf up here, and I have an entire book of the month TBR shelf down here, and there's just so many books I have to read. It's overwhelming. That was the mid-year book freakout tag. It's so fun doing this book tag because I really love talking about the things I like have loved most this year and the things I haven't liked as much this year, and just let me know in the comments like what's some of the best books you've read so far this year, what are like your biggest disappointments of the year, and what are your most anticipated books coming out in the next couple of months. And yeah, we can talk about it, and thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.